Okay, continuing on with lesson 6.4, you may have watched the previous video and figured out what to do when you have an equation where you have a variable with a coefficient of 1. And you've made it to the next section of problems and went, oh, shoot, there's no more coefficient of 1. Now what am I supposed to do? So you still look for key components to the system of equations like you did in the previous examples. So we're wanting to look for variables that have opposite signs. So like the x terms in this example. We've got a positive 8x in the first equation and a negative 7x in the second equation. So for ease of solving the problem, we're going to want to eliminate the x terms. It doesn't matter if you pick to eliminate the y's, you'll still end up with the same solution. But because those the x variable terms are of opposite sign, I don't have to worry about being confused when I have to multiply by a negative. So here's what we need to do. We need to multiply the first equation by 7 and multiply the second equation by 8. That's going to give us a common x coefficient of 56. So the first equation, I'm going to multiply by 7. 8x times 7 gives me 56x. 3y times 7 gives me 21y. And 4 times 7 gives me 28. The bottom equation, negative 7x times 8 gives me negative 56x. 8 times 5 gives me 40y. And negative 34 times 8 gives me negative 272. Now my equation is set up to eliminate the x variable terms. So 56x minus 56x cancels out. 21y plus 40y gives me 61y. And 28 minus 272 is negative 244. Now I want to isolate the variable by dividing both sides by 61. And we end up with a solution of y equals negative 4. Now, you should already have figured out by now that we're only halfway done with this problem. We still need to figure out what the value of x is. And if you've been watching our videos, you'll know that it doesn't matter where I substitute the y. Either in the first equation or the second equation, still get the same answer. So, using the first equation, 8x plus 3y equals 4, we'll substitute the value that we have found for y. 8x plus 3 times negative 4 equals 4. 8x 3 times negative 4 is negative 12 equals 4. Isolate the variable term by adding 12 to both sides. 8x equals 16. Divide both sides by 8 to isolate the x, and x equals 2. So our ordered pair solution is 2 comma negative 4, and we will just check our answer to make sure that we are right. We'll use the second equation. Negative 7x plus 5y equals negative 34. So x is equal to 2, so that is negative 7 times 2 plus 5 times negative 4 is supposed to equal negative 34. We'll put a little question mark there to check. Negative 7 times 2 is negative 14, and positive 5 times negative 4 is negative 20. Does that really equal negative 34? Following our integer rules, negative 14 minus 20 does indeed give you negative 34. So our solution of positive 2, comma negative 4 checks out.